All right, welcome to the audio commentary for episode 300 of Gory Story Time.
Woo! Yes.
I'm your host, Craig, and
I'm also the host, Jason.
And we're going to talk about what went into making this awesome documentary.
That you've all definitely seen.
Yes. Anyone that clicked on this will
Hopefully has seen the other one.
It would be strange if they started with this.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did in editing was took the original beginning here from back when you were 13 when we first started.
Yeah, this was the first intro with the actual characters from the movies instead of pictures of us as those characters from those movies.
I just thought that would be a good little throwback.
Yeah.
Until, of course, here comes.
Oh, we're the executive producers.
They can be creepy.
There's me doing a really awful voice for the voiceover.
Yes. Chasing Amy, probably the scariest movie on that stack.
I mean, that was the joke. I wanted people to know at the beginning there was going to be humor.
This is Fact TV.
That is Fact TV.
Those are Greater Falls. That was an online photo.
Employee Garrett filmed this for us. I slowed it down so that it would
Oh yes, and there's that blood on the ground.
cover more of my yapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I want footage of the outside of the building and then coming down the stairs and in. So he ran up and did that for us.
See, because that's not actually my arm.
No, that's
an actor arm.
That's Garrett's arm.
Whoa. Physical appearance in this. He's famous now too.
Basically, we tried to do something special for every 100 episodes. We did a 100th episode special where we reviewed our own show. What was it? There was an hour and a half special that we did, 90 minutes for 200. Oh, and there's Alex, who I decided, since he's got a twin brother named Jacob that used to work here, the running gag was going to be
that we call him Jake.
Yeah, that like I'm so dumb I don't recognize that that's actually his name is Alex.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Most of the people we asked to get involved that knew us were quick to say yes. That was the nice thing. You know, Don Tretler, Joey Powers,
almost
your
everybody
brother.
We reached out to. Yeah, my brother. You'll see him here in a minute. But, or maybe more than a minute. I don't remember how long.
I reached out to our mutual friend Dalton. And I said,
he was on the show previously.
Yep. And I said, hey, I have an idea. I want to have a crazed fan run up to me and ask me to sign their titty, but I want it to be a dude because that's funnier.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that scene, but
yeah, definitely. But he was on the episode with the Greasy Strangler, and
he suggested it.
Yeah. So technically, canon to this is this happened first.
Weirdly, even though in reality.
Yeah.
But I used a real clip from the episode. A couple of them.
Oh, and this is him actually giving like a spiel about the
actual
place that we are.
Like all the stuff we had him talk about the station is real. Anyone watching this, absolutely come on down, and if you have an idea for a show, they do everything they can to make it easy for you. You got to come up with the ideas, and you know.
Yeah, and you could always like come just give us money, because we'd like that.
Well, who's gonna do that?
Anybody could do that.
He's Alex's right-hand man.
Yeah.
I remember the day we were filming that. Speaking of Garrett, he was
Guns
filming
N' Roses
all that stuff
shirt,
too.
And the obviously smashing his head off the wall is great, but yeah.
Basically, my whole premise with him was to just have him be, degrading everything, not just us. He was going to make fun of the station too.
How to quit your job and still get paid, and Avril Lavigne playing off to the side. I love that.
Yeah,
I will never get over that.
I believe that was actually Colin's idea to play that video.
It makes sense.
And that's when she left in cuffs.
Oh, wow.
That was a joke I wrote in the original script too. I was like, have the voiceover happen and then cut back to she left in cuffs, just to have people go, what?
What? Why? Boobs and stabbing.
Because I had them cover their eyes at the really bad stuff, like boobs and stabbing.
I guess that makes sense.
I
You know, that is the bad stuff.
a lot
boobs
of
and
this was
stabbing.
right from the original script that
This
I had
is
written.
just. Oh yeah.
Like cutting to me
you
saying
notice-
what I said.
We reuse these pieces of footage probably every time.
Oh, and then there was that. Well, I'll talk about it when I get there.
Yeah.
The dancing part.
Yeah, my dad is kind of a dick.
Hey, listen.
Thanks past me.
Again, that was in the script.
Yeah.
I didn't trust you to go off the top of
Written
your
by
head.
you.
It was. It was.
Just trying to keep you honest, Dad.
That was one of the toughest lines to get you to spit out.
There we are dancing again.
Son about horror movies
There's me up close dancing again.
at a grocery store. So there
That's
wasn't
dancing?
money
Yeah.
for the equipment
The shirt you're wearing is an actual Gory Story Time shirt that we had made,
to leave the house.
and I'm wearing based on a novel by Stephen King.
Admitting that you are actually written fiction.
Visit a doctor
Yes.
upstairs from the station.
Oh, look, that's the door. That's more of that footage.
This is that footage.
And when she saw it was a television studio.
The story I'm telling here is actually true. My ex-girlfriend literally found this place by accident trying to leave the hospital upstairs. And yeah,
Stumbled in and we started the show not long after.
this guy here, Joey, he was
Colin at the time.
yeah, he did the job that Colin does now as far as running the cameras and going
Switching
back
the
and forth.
show
Yep.
and laughing at all our jokes.
He definitely laughed at a lot of jokes. Like
To the point where you could hear it through the glass, through the closed door on our
Yeah.
mics. On our weak mics that we would have to clip to our shirts.
again,
You remember that?
as soon as I reached out to him, I reached out on Facebook and I said, "Hey, I know we weren't even friends on Facebook. I just like looked him up and sent him a message, and he was in immediately. He's like, absolutely, I come in on this day, be there, and tell me what you need."
Ah, yes, Floyd. He was the first person before we technically even knew exactly how this was going to go, he was the first person that I reached out to.
And
He saw me at work and was like, "Hey, it's been a long time since we saw each other. What's up with you?" And I was like, "Hey, we're doing a 300th episode, and this is the basic idea. We just want you to come in and basically talk shit about us."
Absolutely.
And he was like, "Absolutely, I could do that." And I was
Well,
like, "Hell yeah."
What was quickly tell the story about the last special we had done.
Oh my goodness. I bumped into him on my way back from work one day. I was walking home and he was like, "Oh my goodness, I just watched your 200th episode." When I saw that it was 90 minutes long, I was like, "Oh, I got to see what the hell these guys were up to." And he was so happy when he watched it. He said it was the funniest thing that he'd watched in a long time. I love him. He's great.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff with the studio here.
Oh, as you can see, this is back when their studio was a lot bigger. They could have stuff in the background like that. Whoa, you guys shot that on location?
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, when I reached out to Don, he was in the second one too.
Yeah, he's been in
I don't think he was in the
the
first
last two
one.
then, yeah.
But we also did a thing
Yeah.
where we talked over a movie together.
Yeah, we watched Santa versus the Martians or Conquers the Martians with him.
Yep.
With questions about the movie.
Can I write?
Yeah,
And
that you
this stuff
write.
is all real.
Yeah.
But the joke here was I just wanted all the credit, which I followed through into the credits.
Yeah.
Watch the credits at the end of this thing. Like
Which
I
we'll
put
still
some
be
jokes
talking.
in.
Of the movie, if they can read or see.
Yeah.
I'm trying not
That's
to
a
just
co-
get
that's
into
a
that habit of
callback.
listening to myself.
Right. That's a callback to the first episode where you had cracked a small joke that didn't deserve the chuckle that I gave it,
But you were
but I
13.
didn't expect it.
And if you
Where,
remember, I actually I put that audio or that video into this.
Yeah.
To show that.
And you were like, "Oh, the if they couldn't tell by the picture behind us or the name of the video, what are we reviewing?" And I couldn't hold back laughter on that. Yes,
Oh, look at me.
this is the episode.
Let's,
This is the episode with what's his name?
Dalton.
Dalton.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to give examples of fake commercials. And
Yeah.
because we're going uncensored, I went with an episode that was uncensored with the commercials.
Yeah. There was
A
no
lot of the
choice.
commercials, my favorite thing to do is write things that aren't actually explicit but are suggestive.
Sound it. I
Because
remember
you would crack
like,
up so much.
I would, and it would be
Sherry
difficult for me to-
Moon's Pie
Oh my
was one of
goodness.
my favorite ones for that.
What was it? Tits.
Oh, tits
Yeah.
instead of like.
And somebody actually called the studio complaining, "What's this 13-year-old on TV talking about putting tits in his mouth? This is unacceptable."
It was a snack food called tits. There was cheese tits and tater tits, and bet
yeah.
you can't eat just one.
No, you gotta have two.
You gotta have two at a time. Gotta.
I love that. We haven't gotten many complaints since then, which is weird, because we've only
they
gotten
also play
dirtier
it
and worse.
in the-
But
well, we try not to swear too much, but for the specials we go uncensored, and
Yeah, but-
there's some movies that it's just like Cannibal Holocaust.
specifically,
We had
Cannibal Holocaust. You can't talk about without having certain things
things
come
that
up.
would go against the
Greasy
rules
Strangler.
on
We
YouTube.
talked about a waggling dick, and
It's true.
And we always
Oh, and I love how easy it was for us
Yeah.
to like look like we were just
Like,
annoyed with
chilling
each other.
and-
Well, no,
oh.
annoyed with each other, because a lot of the behind the scenes stuff you'll see we actually were.
yeah. Oh, whoa. Basic Bitches doing Elton John. Yeah.
Oh,
Elton
here's
John.
the callback you were talking about.
and I'm his co-host Craig. I'm also his father.
Yep.
And the idea for this show is we're going to review horror movies.
I miss having that little guy there.
Oh, Freddie?
Yeah, with the house.
Yeah.
See them through the perspective of
And we didn't even have a real poster up behind us,
Right.
That's surprising, because I forgot that
Yeah.
until I went to edit that in. I'm like,
a
oh,
horror movie. And
Your hair was a lot less gray.
well, I mean, that was
Heck, my
11
hair's starting
or 10
to
years ago, anyway.
go missing.
yeah. Well, mine was going missing. You just can't see that with my hat.
and what
Yeah.
movie are we going to review today in case people can't see the picture behind us and figure it out on their own?
That,
That
smirk,
smirk
on my
was so
face,
great.
I just couldn't hold it back. It was just so good.
I mean,
Guess what they did?
Oh, would you look at Friday the 13th? On Friday the 13th? No, it was probably a Thursday at that time. We used to do this show on Thursdays. Can you
and
imagine?
you still to this day, if you have something for to wear to one of the shows that's related, you do it. Like you had
Yeah.
the mask there, but like you've done that with other stuff.
Oh yeah,
On other shows.
that's Dalton.
You know how hard it was to get Dalton to remember my name was Craig? There was quite a few times.
Greg
Are
from
you Greg? I'm like, fucking no.
Who's Greg?
The first time he didn't have the marker either.
Yeah,
And that was a pretty funny blooper. But yeah, definitely watch through the end. There's bloopers too.
his face does it all here. Like I don't know. It's
I
just
thought my face was pretty good of looking like I was like put upon.
Oh my goodness.
But
Yeah.
now the next part, we just made this up on the spot and just filmed this.
Later that day.
Yeah. And by the way, your brother was there. My son Joey was there outside when we were filming the first part, and it took so long that he had to leave because he had shit to do.
Yeah.
And he had to come back in another day to do his part. So shout out to him for being willing to come back another day. And
After having to sit there and watch this, it's like, all right, you fools.
this here I made up on the spot. I just shoved him out the door, and
Yeah.
he went with it, and that was
He went
great.
with it, and then he comes back for a little bit of a peek, like a total weirdo, and that's perfect.
Well, he was actually just coming back in, but I made it look like he was being a
The
weirdo.
very next Friday.
Smash cut 2. Here he comes.
Yes. I love that he's wearing a Jason Voorhees hat.
If you,
I mean, I was wearing a Nightmare on Elm Street hat, and you were wearing a pot leaf hat because you're a pothead.
Well,
That's related to another show we do.
yeah.
With people watching this movie in general, no one's heard of it.
Yeah.
So, hey, you should watch that.
I'm glad that he recommended the movie to me.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Like, my life was improved by having seen something that awful.
It was a lot of fun.
Which is a weird
with a
thing to
dumb
say.
ending, and it was just a good time.
I had to decline.
Yeah.
And that was another running gag. Him and your brother both, like, they asked me to be the third person, and that was on the
Yeah.
spot, too.
And fun fact, I've seen him since. He has that. He still has that marker.
No, that's a joke, because I have that marker.
Oh.
Craig is the cutest thing on TV. Seriously.
You think that somebody's going to believe that?
I'm not going to be able to convince anyone of this.
Oh my goodness, this is great.
I mean, when I told people that back to
Yeah.
We
He
reached
came
out
back
to
with
some
this so
cool
quickly.
He did, and he actually took pictures of himself for the ending where everybody ends up dead. He posed next to a saw and put some fake blood. I added some digitally with my phone.
But for the most part, it was what he did already.
I just added some blood. Everybody else, I added all of the blood,
And any of the weapons or anything or the blood was all you for all of the other ones.
But he definitely sent that. Like, he was excited to be part of it.
He did that before I had
But
seen a copy of the freaking.
He also, and I put it on at the end. He also, Floyd, did not want to just do the thing where he's talking shit,
and then
he also sent a video where he was like, "Hey, I'm just kidding, and I'm a big fan," because he is actually a big fan. Oh, here's the running thing about Jake. I told you that was in there.
3 months, but it just, I don't know. I just never. I don't think it ever clicked. It ever clicked.
Right?
Yeah, basically. Well, he gets to that.
Yeah.
Why do I
See, at first I had all the more serious stuff, and then slowly I started adding the parts where they were talking shit.
Yeah.
Are there even 300?
Are there even 300 movies? I mean,
the funny thing is, he does a show with movies too.
Their show is fun. They sit down and they talk about movies, but they don't also. They kind of just go and they sit and they talk. They start on a topic and then change.
Here's a secret that he probably doesn't want out, but this guy here, Colin, he actually likes us and likes our show. He likes to pretend he doesn't like anybody or anything to do with his job, but this he actually really does enjoy.
Yeah.
I've had him message me, and he's like, well, just recently, he's like, I put your 300th on and a couple episodes of the show we do for another channel on YouTube.
This one.
Yep. And he's like, some stoner's going to come across this at midnight and have a good time.
I'm on the aftermath of still recording one of those recently.
See where it says "Hi, not to laugh" at the bottom in Comic Sans? Yeah, my buddy Josh was busting my nuts about that. I said, I didn't do that.
I like Comic Sans. Nobody needs to complain about Comic Sans.
like, bad horror films.
Yeah, I do like bad horror films.
Sometimes
All right,
it is bad.
A bad horror film is good sometimes.
I mean,
I like Rosemary's Baby.
Oh my God! Don't you hear him? Do you hear him? Any film lovers out there, especially horror lovers, he said Rosemary's Baby is awful.
Maybe that's our next debate.
Yeah, I suppose.
But
Dora the Explorer and be like, amazed.
if he smokes some really good stuff. I mean, first of all, there's nothing okay about that.
Oh, more of this footage being reused.
I recognize this place.
Yeah.
Is this where you did all that filming while I wasn't around?
That's the funny thing is, like, the 100th episode and the 200th episode, you were here a lot more.
Yeah, because I had no job.
But now you have a full-time job.
Yeah.
And you got a kid coming.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here comes a bunch of extra
Which,
people. You work with her. She works at the front end at Shaw's, Nadia. Or as I like to call her, Mandy's Spawn. No, Mandy's Spawn. Because she calls me Jason's dad. And when she found out my name, she goes, I'm just going to call you Jason's dad.
All right, sure. I mean, you'll not stop being my dad just because she calls you it.
Honestly, everybody nailed their part.
Yeah. And a 10-pound bag of freaking bird food,
You forgot
right?
the Vaseline, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I thought,
There's Josh, the guy that we were talking about
for the most part,
earlier.
these guys came up with what they were doing themselves, and I think it's great.
I knew this kid since he was in 2nd grade. I was in 4th grade. We met at Westgate in Brattleboro, Vermont. Now
As you can tell, he doesn't look like a kid, so that shows my father's age.
Well, I mean, he's actually pretty close to my age. I think we're the same age. He just had stayed back, and I hadn't. That's why he was in 2nd, and I was in 4th.
Is that why he has less grays?
No. And there's my sister, Jessica.
Yep.
I did ask her if she would do something, and she basically was like, I'm kind of not sure if I'm a good enough actress. That's all it was.
Not me either.
And then I feel bad about this one here. My sister and her kids, except
Oh.
that's
Like, I assume this is what they're talking about when they diss Android phone cameras, because
Yeah.
my Android phones
Well,
never looked
the
like
reason
that.
That there was only my sister and 2 of her kids was the third video was less
like-
than a second, and it just went, bleh, and I was like, well, I can't really use that.
Unfortunately, not.
That
This
is Josh's daughter's boyfriend.
I love that. Yes, beat
That
him, beat
footage
him.
was actually after he had played Larry the Lobster in the SpongeBob musical
Yes.
at the high school.
Yes.
But weren't you on the show?
Yeah, that's my son Joseph. I mean, listen, I've got 2 sons. I'm not saying I love one more than the other, but you know. But I have to put up with you a lot more. It's harder to deal with.
I know.
No. And there he, look
We're
how
both
young
second
both of
place
you
runner-ups,
are.
right?
Seriously. Like, well, I always, when they were growing up, I would tell them both that, you know, you're my second favorite kid. I figured it would make them, like, you know,
Strive for
try.
better.
Yeah, try
Yeah.
harder.
Little did you know.
They were all happy to fucking I'm in the
my
top
goodness.
2.
This is great. Like, whatever. Second place isn't really losing.
You said, heck no.
I mean, that was 9.
What was I supposed to say? Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, good line. Oh, there's my dad, who normally talks wicked quiet. He's been on a couple of shows that I've done in the past.
Yeah.
He was on Daddy Issues, and he actually spoke up for this.
Oh my goodness. Watching this when you were editing it the first time, it's like I couldn't fucking hold myself together. This was so funny.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job, too. I mean, seriously, everybody involved.
Like, I can't find anything. Like, I didn't do a whole lot, all right? I basically played me with lines, and I did it poorly. Everybody else is like, so
we
like
filmed it
wow.
on our normal filming day.
Right.
Because that you have off anyway. That's actually a photo from their wedding.
Yes.
She must have watched
They didn't wear, like, a tux.
The documentary. It's about Gory Story.
This is great.
Yeah.
Now, the funny part is, she was actually, I wrote that, okay, and you'll notice it suddenly starts in reverse right there.
Yeah.
Because I needed to stretch it out, so I slowed it down and I even reversed it.
And then it reversed again, and there it is going back. But that joke about her not wanting to be in it, that was great. I thought it was funny.
I wrote it because she does have anxiety and really would have a hard time at the time that I wrote it. And now she actually does food reviews on YouTube
On the other
with
channel
you
with me.
and doesn't mind being on camera. And she said she wouldn't actually mind. And I was like, but maybe it's funnier if you're like, fuck you, I don't want to do it.
Right. I mean, it was definitely funny.
Okay.
All right.
And then-
so this is the credits, but it's not really the credits. Imagine that. It's a joke. That's us sitting at this table
That
in
we're
these
recording.
spots.
Yeah, we're literally
watching
recording
this.
the audio commentary in this same room.
Talking a lot of shit, Colin.
Everybody was talking a lot of shit. Isn't that crazy? That is not the gun sound I wanted it to be, all right?
No, but it's still a cocking sound and it's funny.
Whatever. Cock
the sword.
you. But I thought that was great. At one point while editing, there was this idea that I was going to go back down for more and then come back up for it. He called him Jake. That was that long-haired animal in the back. That was Garrett. I love the little scratch on
Yeah, we
his face.
literally used a key, just drew some blood across his cheek. This song,
This song
I
you
wrote
recorded
as a
in-house.
freestyle. I recorded it on my phone originally, and then I just rearranged the lines so that it made more sense. But it's actually the words that I had come up with at home.
Yeah.
And
These are the
everybody
pictures of
posing
people who
dead.
died.
like a spider.
That's my brother. I like the I Eat Kids shirt. I
Yeah,
just want everybody to notice the
that's
I Eat
great.
Kids shirt with the guy from Jesse.
Died of mushroom poisoning, the first 2, and then the rest of these assholes wouldn't eat their fucking mushrooms. I wanted that joke so bad.
That's Dalton.
I mean, the axe in his back, that's awesome. Josh,
Yeah.
I did
there's
all the
splatter
blood
all
and
over
stuff,
it.
like-
This is great.
I've got the unedited photos, and it's very cool that I could do this all on my phone.
Such a big difference.
Slashed his throat and removed his eye.
So good. I'm glad that these guys were all in on this because this is just so much fun.
It really was.
I And
There's that picture. Like I said,
he
I
added the blood to the
on
shirt, but
more than
the
anything.
stuff on it, on the floor and on his face was all real. I thought that was, well, not real, but like on picture. That's what you get for not paying your taxes.
Yeah,
I just had so much fun doing this.
I really did too. There was,
Somehow I
pretty
watched
sure
you.
This was from the cigarettes.
Somehow I
loved
watched
it.
you edit it the
And
whole
by the way, she
time
sends me
and
a
still
picture where
shocked.
She's supposed to be dead and she's petting her fucking cat.
Yeah. There's no way your other sister was a worse actor.
And then
That's a great picture from a great camera.
that's my niece.
Kingdom Hospital cafeteria.
Full of himself. You
Like, I definitely read the credits. They're good.
had the good sense not to be in this dumb documentary, but we love anyway.
Yep.
And
When I missed, I
Mwahahaha.
cared.
Yes.
I mean, look at how I made it look like the blood stained the shirts and stuff. My dad.
Eyes open. Unsettling. And yeah, that's where we filmed it.
Most of it was right here on the property.
We're currently filming the audio.
Yeah. The commentary? Yeah. And then, of course, I had
Why are
to
you
take a
still
shot
watching?
at Marvel.
Aha. This isn't Marvel.
Nadia told me afterwards, she goes, when I saw that, I was like,
There's
oh, good, there's
7
something
minutes left.
Yeah. She was like, oh, that's awesome.
Freestyle's done because the shit's getting weird.
Have your
Here.
damn bloopers.
Frankly, my dear.
A poster behind this thumbnail that they had to click on in order to do it.
And he burped.
I just burped.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, we didn't do it with episode 100, but we had bloopers for 200 also.
Yes.
It was like 7-8 minutes. of them.
Prime pickings. I don't know where I came from with that. Like
Anyway, that's going in there. I don't really have anything direct.
this.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That laugh. It sounds almost like, something wrong with a mule.
Just like, why are you throwing sticks in the middle of your take? Oh my goodness.
I love that
you
part.
Bully. You're just a bully. There's no
I
reason
was
for you to have
mocking
done
him,
that.
like coming to a short stop at the window. So I did the same thing back.
That's not how this fucking goes.
That's right.
Yeah, you
Now, when
messed
we
me up on
started, you
purpose.
certainly wouldn't have got away with calling me that.
Yeah, well,
Not when you were
if you
13.
weren't sucking cock right next to me, I wouldn't have made the difference. But
Oh!
oh,
Try it again.
Hey, have you heard of Craig? You're being too loud.
oh my goodness! And
well,
then the very next
Yeah,
one.
watch. The very next
Oh.
version of that.
There I am trying to remember my lines.
No, I'm looking at the. Yeah. What are you doing? Trying to remember what I'm saying. Do you know how the door works?
Oh my goodness!
That's very Gen X of me because, like, that would. It seems politically incorrect to
does.
talk at you that way. Let's be honest. It's funny.
asshole.
Yourself.
I almost said myself.
Myself, which
Yes.
Yeah, you've watched this a few
Yourself.
times, I noticed. Quoting the fucking bloopers. That was from the first take. I literally had just made that up at that point, and to push him out the door,
cost anything to do a show
and
here.
everyone
So I
thought it was
started
great.
doing said,
Yep.
Saving this.
Punch dead space, and then a laugh.
Hey, and to all the people involved with making this, if you're watching this, probably the only people that are going to give a shit of it enough to watch it. Thank you for every bit
Just trying
of
to
it.
keep you honest. The whisper.
Do you know Greg?
Oh my.
She was yelling at her grandmother there.
I know.
found out. She yells at a dog later. In dog.
In dog. Yeah, well, the dog started it. In dog.
You know what? It's a good point.
So do you want me to stop Yeah. Sorry, good. Oh, no biggie. It's only weird if you make it weird.
Had to leave that in there. That's great.
Did.
That weird little.
That's all right. I started
This guy
writing
just
on
came
his-
up with this. All right.
Yeah. Well,
He just decided to do this.
when I wrote on Dalton's titty, I actually started writing it in the first take, and we realized we had a bunch of more takes to do, so we had to wipe down his titty, and there was, if you notice, there's actually like some black
Smear up on the
smear
sides.
on the clothing
Yeah.
Hey man, listen,
from before we signed.
This was great. I've never enjoyed my brother not being able to sit comfortably so much.
Hey, he played it right up.
He did.
throw this seat through that window and call it. That'd be really funny.
It'd be a funny prank.
That'd be like a funny prank though.
Yeah. I thought that, like, whoa, a prank?
I asked him
Keep
to do
doing
that,
that,
and he did
like-
it so perfect.
For those of you who watch our show, that is not a bright burn tattoo like we had originally thought.
No, it's some dumb.
Anime thing.
Anime
I don't
thing.
know. I pick on him for it.
I don't watch anime. I like to have sex
I
with
have-
women.
Yeah, I have a wife instead. If only remembering my lines was more natural.
Instead of just quoting yourself.
Well. Yes. Are you Greg?
You know how many of those there were? I could have
Oh my
chosen.
goodness.
I decided not to, but I could have just had. Are you Greg? Are you Greg? Are you Greg? Are you Greg? It's like, no, I'm not fucking Greg.
This is great. This is like, yes.
Just waiting for you to
Oh my goodness. Yep. Smudgy, smudgy.
But I literally signed his chest.
And then after the intro, we
Yeah.
We
Right there on the floor.
Do not.
And it's easy because of the not wearing pants behind the counter thing.
apparently. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to just cut there. I was supposed to do
you
the
were supposed
scene.
to do the whole scene, and then we were gonna shoot.
And I
From
was like, "Is that good?" And he's like,
dummy.
camera. I cannot see you on that screen in front of me, which means you're fine. And he put a thumbs up, so we're ready.
Oh my goodness. Technical wizard.
See, like I said, he couldn't bring himself to only talk shit. He's
had to
actually
do
a
this
really
too.
nice guy, and he had to say something positive.
Yeah, he's great.
And by the way, he does a lot of concerts in the Southern Vermont area. Check out Intercept.
Yeah, and then we paid Alex to do his bit about how nice it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Floyd was the only one that likes us.
No, he wanted to say something good too. Colin had no interest. He's like, no, I'll talk shit.
He only does the nice talk behind the scenes,
Yeah, yeah.
which is what this was, to be fair. All these people that you're watching, they're not actually dead.
Well, we didn't actually murder
This is
my
not the
dad
Cannibal
and
Holocaust
your
movie.
wife, and well, she didn't have a picture of
No,
her.
my wife didn't die.
No, 'cause she was never on screen.
Yeah. And that voiceover guy, man,
The one that doesn't
know
sound
how-
anything like me going like this.
no, I'm glad that he was able to get away with this.
make sure that it's entertaining and fun to watch. And those guys do it pretty consistently.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
Yeah.
some behind the scenes information about the
Making of the 300th
Making of the show
episode
and-
and just some riffing and having
until
fun.
next time, sweet dreams.
Yeah.